Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. Okay, do me a favor. Kind of get stable and let's get into it. Are there
Okay.
are there enough women for relationships today?
Okay. Hold on. Let me get stable. Okay.
Go ahead.
You. What?
Are there enough women for relationships today?
Yes. You believe so? Yeah.
Okay. Based
Do you
on
want me?
what?
Based on, well, the younger generation starting to become more available. I would say so. Like, I was born in 1996, so obviously I'm getting close to my mid-20s. But I
Okay.
would. There's a lot of women, especially myself, with no kids, fully careered, that have available in time to be in a relationship.
Okay. When was the last time you had a boyfriend?
I just ended my relationship for 6 years.
When?
Not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Why didn't you guys get married?
You should ask him that. That's a good
No,
question.
you said you ended it.
Because we are not married.
Okay. Um, but you ended the relationship.
Yeah, I did because there was obviously underlying issues like toxicity and so on.
Well,
So
no, I can't take that because see, this is where it starts to go off the rails. You can't say you entered a 6 year relationship because you're not married and then say during the time you were there was toxic. Did you if you're saying that you believe women are there are enough women, then what do you think is wrong? Why don't you think the men are saying that?
because I feel like men in general have like a certain criteria, like you stated, they are looking for something that
Yes.
obviously women are not providing them, which is fine.
So that means so because men are the consumers, the purchasers. If they are purchasing women or wives and they're saying there are not enough women or wives, it's not a problem with the men.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of I kind of feel like it's half and half because men at the same.
No, 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 it can't be half and half because men are the husbands.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But in the sense of at the same time, there are plenty of men who don't have their stuff together
We're
that
not focusing on those. See, talk to me about why women are single today and don't blame men.
I would say a lot of it has to do with their own selves, like fighting their own demons, meaning like they're dealing with their own personal issues, trying to heal themselves to be better, ready for
Did you
a
go to
man.
college?
I am college right now, yes.
Okay. 1 in 3 black men who marry and have a college degree choose to marry a non-black woman. Black men are marrying. Black men want to marry. Black men are saying there are not enough women for relationships. What are black women going to do about it?
Yeah.
Or are you okay with him
I
going to get with a white woman?
I mean, I'm part white, so it wouldn't bother me either way.
But you see the point. My point is the market decides. The men are saying they want relationships. That's why my show is so popular. It's not my show is not watched by a bunch of Cheeto eating neckbeard cellar dwellers. My show is populated by professional men
Right.
who want relationship. And they're saying they're not enough. So in your situation, you said you're in a relationship for 6 months. I mean 6 years. So you got with him when you were what, 18?
We did it in 2015, yeah. So I was like about 18, 17.
But you were 18.
hmm
And how old was he?
He
How,
was,
how old was he?
he's like a couple months older, so he was, less than me, so he was 17 at the time.
So you had a younger man and you were with him for 6 years. Man, was that man even ready to be? Most men aren't ready to be a husband until around 30.
He stated obviously they all say that. He stated
No,
that
no, we
that's what.
can't we can't say that. No, I can't back that up. Why would you come in and say they all do that? You see how easy. So I mean, to my critics, I want you guys to understand how easily women disparage all men. Let's talk about the one you had instead of the ones you don't know. Is
Right.
that fair?
Yep. No.
Thank you.
Yes. I agree.
So, did you have your mom and dad, or your mom and dad married?
No.
Okay.
Which is,
Were you raised by your mother?
I'm back and forth.
Okay.
But
So, what I'm trying to understand is who advised you on your relationships?
who invited me?
Advised you.
See, I kind of had to learn myself, which is why I was in the situation that I was in, because I was trying so hard to make a
Who did you
non.
ask?
I really didn't have anyone to really give me guidance on it. We just kind of
So,
went.
you can't talk to your father about dating?
No, because he's not really the one to judge either. He's not married. He's going through his own drama with his own different of
And you can't
women.
ask your mother?
My mother is celibate. She's not really looking for any type of marriage. Well,
Celibate?
she's celibate.
How many kids does she have?
Just me and my little brother.
And she's been celibate for how long?
Since my brother was born. So my brother's 9 now.
So, for what reasons?
Because of the father of my brother was also a toxic relationship. She just kind of was focused on.
Your mother's celibate because her baby daddy was toxic?
Well, no, I would say she's celibate because she has the same beliefs. Like, she's Christian, she wants to get married, and
You
she
can't
wants.
be that. But see, do you realize how crazy that sounds?
Yeah,
You
no,
got two kids out of wedlock by two different men, and then you want to become celibate. See, what you're showing is even your mama is a problem.
Mm, how
You
so?
may love your mama, but your mama's a problem. You don't get to go and be a reborn Christian and be celibate for 9 years and then start seeing the problem with men.
I don't think she sees the problem. I mean,
Say that again. Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
that I don't believe she was the problem.
No, you don't
Or,
believe she sees the problem
I
as
don't think
her.
she's the problem as her. Well, not as her, but
What women do? What women
meaning
do see that?
deal with her own personal health. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. She's trying to decipher herself and work through herself before even trying to get into a marriage or stable relationship. And when she
But
is
here's the
ready,
problem, man. But here's the problem. She already got two kids out here, and one of them is without guidance. So your mama, who's a modern woman, who's a Christian, but got baby daddy one, baby daddy two. She's still trying to figure out her own shit and got you as a daughter out here wandering through this world by yourself with no guidance. So you're making mistakes because your mama ain't got her head in the game because she's trying to figure her shit out. When it really should have been someone should have helped your mother pick better, become somebody's wife, then marry and have children afterwards, and your mother and father help you figure out what to model a relationship. See, this is very
right,
basic, but it all starts with the men you ladies pick, and it starts with the women. When your mother chose to have children, she gave up her single life. But far
yeah,
too many, I can make the case that mothers today are putting their personal lives before their kids' lives. Because at 24, you're saying you had a 6-year relationship and no adult, mother or father, stepped in to give you any guidance. But for that case, you might as well be a foster kid because a parent is supposed to help guide you. True or
yeah.
false? Would
No,
you
but at
go
the
ahead?
same time, my mother had me at a young age. She was also 17 herself when she had me. So,
How old is your
and
mother?
my mother is now, her birthday was not last week, so she's 43. I would it
hmm
43. And my dad is also 42.
So your mother was born in roughly 78 or 79 or 80, right?
79. Oh, no, 78. I
Right.
think, yeah, 78.
78. And I got news for you. I'm 10 years older and I knew about condoms and contraceptives. So I can't give your mama a pass that she just had a oops baby,
Yeah, no.
especially two.
Yeah, no, it's not past at all.
So if just think about this. Listen to how we're talking about describing your mother. And that's the man. And then even with you, you're saying you're in a relationship and it was toxic. Well, either you're painting the picture that you were just innocent in all of this for 6 years.
No, I never said I was innocent. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, but when toxic, who was the major? Who was the more? What percentage of the toxicity was on you?
I would say about in the beginning, it was me. In the beginning, it
Okay.
was me. But as I got older, I started to understand and realize what my flaws were. And I made adjustments in myself to bring down that toxicity out of me.
But why were you toxic at 17?
Because I didn't know how a real relationship worked. My parents, neither of them were in a
When you
state.
were toxic, what are some of the things you were talking about that were toxic?
I mean, just the arguments getting out of hand, the
At
crazy.
17? You're in high school.
Well, that's like fast forward to like 19, we're moving in together, we're living
Yeah,
together.
but you said in the beginning it was you.
Well, that's like past the puppy phase. The first year or two, it's like butterflies and rainbows.
And you moved in with somebody at 19?
Yep, I
And your
sure did.
mother and father just said, all right with this.
I mean, again, they didn't like it, but knowing who I am, I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Thank you. To my critics, women choose. At 19 years old, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. I wish someone would have.
When the men are saying they run into women who share your reflection and your experiences, do you understand why most are saying there are no women for relationships? Because arguably you're not ready. You just ended a relationship for 6 years, 1/3 of your life. Well, not 6 years. 25% of your life spent with somebody that you're calling toxic. That guy was a boy. He was too young to be trying to be a husband or anything else like that. But y'all were trying to figure this out on your own. And I'm still not understanding why modern middle class women who have really none of the struggles other women have had are so toxic. Y'all should be the happiest, easiest to go get along people in the world.
Yeah. 99% of the time I am. I just feel like.
Yeah, but 99, I want 100. Y'all ain't picking no cotton. Y'all ain't sharecropping. Y'all ain't cleaning people's floors. Y'all sitting in air conditioning and got new textbooks. What are you talking about?
Right.
This is what the men are saying. They run into women at 24 who sound like they got a lot of miles on them. So how long, if you've been with somebody for 6 years, common thought is it takes about 1/3 of the time to detox from that person and get clear. That means you won't be ready for a relationship till about 26 or 27.
That's disappointing.
That's what happens when young people are allowed to get into relationships and stay in them for years with no guidance. And can't nobody tell you nothing. So even if you had the guidance, what you're saying to me is you probably wouldn't have listened anyway. That's why. So, you have any children?
No. I only have a dog. They're my fur baby.
How tall are you?
Huh?
How tall are you?
I am 5'1.5".
Dress size?
My dress size, I am a large.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
I was 180. Puberty pretty young.
Now that is one thing you as a young woman have 100% control over. While you're getting your head together, you need to get in the gym and get fit.
No, I know. I was 130 in high school. That was my stable. I mean,
and you were 5'1"? You said 5 what?
5'1.5". I mean, my height, I know by puberty pretty young.
That is one. But even at that 5 at 130 is still a bit heavy for your height.
But you have to understand, I'm like a double D, and
Okay,
like,
I get it. I get it. You're
so
busty.
has to do with
Great.
puberty.
We give you 10 pounds for titties. Cool. That means you got to do more ab work, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep your core tight. And all I'm saying is, if you recognize you had issues, what you can't afford to do right now is to go into the next relationship with you being toxic or whatever,
Right.
because you can't afford to waste 4 or 5 more years. And if you
Exactly.
got no help from your mother, no help from your father, the culture is not about relationship. The culture is not about family. If you want that and you didn't see it modeled growing up, that means you need to get to work, mental work, physical work, so you can get yourself in a position to where, if it's faster, it's faster. But the closer you become to becoming suitable, the more likely you will attract the kind of man that wants relationship. We are all what we attract. You make sense?
No, it does. Yeah.
Do you still live with your mother?
No.
Okay. Are you still in the same city or state with your family?
Yes.
All right. Well, start hanging around the kind of women that you want to be like, because, like I said, our culture doesn't model it. But I'll say this, I'm gonna get to the next person. In all relationships, the problem generally starts in the mirror. We are what we attract, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So just because it didn't go well with this first person, take it as a learning experience, keep on moving. And that guy is arguably too young. I mean, I don't think men today really should be looking at serious relationship or marriage before 30, 35, because